Hello everyone and welcome to Battle of the Beasts New Generation episode number 15. Here we got two more competitors, each ready for the next fight in round 2. Both of which are raring to go, raring to win. And here we got Krotax the Tusk Destroyer versus Diprox the Buzzing Terror. Now both of these beasts I actually kind of like. One is a dramatic improvement on a bad elephant beast, so I'm glad Krotax is good. And the other one is a bug beast, which I like my bug beast, so yeah, obviously. So with this, I think I'm going to need some help. So, let's get to the stats.
Krotax, the Tusk Destroyer. Every year, one person from each tribe of the wildlands north of Avantia is sacrificed to appease the terrifying mammoth. His curved tusks are sharpened to scimitar edges, and iron spikes on his trunk make every toss of his head a potentially devastating strike. Looking at his impressive stats: thick furry hide, sharp tusks made of a unique alloy, non-stop charger, strong iron spiked trunk, and of course that strong armor. So, you guys are in for quite a surprise from Krotax.
Diprox, the final line of defense of Zargon's kingdom of Wakanda. If you hear a buzzing sound, chances are you're too late. With sharp claws, and outstanding speed, plus a poisonous dart that Diprox can shoot rapidly from her abdomen. If you anger this beast, that may as well be the last thing you ever do. Looking at the awesome stats of Diprox, you're in for quite a surprise. Agility, flight, regenerative stinger, but is poisonous and dissolves the foes. Stench to put off the enemy, and slight appendages. You're in for quite a ride. Let's see how Diprox does.
3, 2, 1!
Krotax versus Diprox. Let's get into this. So, as both beasts exit from their chambers, Diprox approaches from the sky exit, just buzzing around, just unmoved, just not keeping still, just buzzing around everywhere, just looking everywhere. Krotax charges out of his chamber, just looking around, looking for his victim, and he spies Diprox right in front of him. Diprox is rapid firing the poison darts from her abdomen, just rapid firing it. It's hitting Krotax, but they don't seem to be penetrating her. And Krotax actually grabs one with her trunk, which she angles to where it's to where she blows it back towards Diprox. Diprox sees it and gets hit in the abdomen by it, but as it's her venom or poison that's in it, it doesn't affect her, but it hits her abdomen. Diprox screeches in anger and charges down towards Krotax. Krotax waits for Diprox, and when Diprox is very close to Krotax, swings her head and hits Diprox backwards. Diprox goes back a bit, but using the strength of her wings, she buzzes back towards Krotax. Krotax, using his trunk, wraps around Diprox's waist, swings Diprox around aggressively, smashes her into the ground, and tosses her backwards. Diprox rolls along the ground, but when she regains herself, she starts buzzing back towards Krotax. Diprox is refusing to give up. Krotax roars in anger to intimidate Diprox, but it's not working. And Krotax goes to wrap his trunk around Diprox again, but Diprox saw that coming and dodged that. And she ends up behind Krotax, where she lands on his back. She stings Krotax with her stinger, but it doesn't seem to penetrate Krotax at all, because Krotax can't seem to feel it. So what Diprox does is that she starts eating away at the thick fur that is protecting Krotax from her poisonous stings. just starts eating away at it, clawing at it and everything like that, to where she can finally see Krotax's flesh. Then Diprox flies up and aims a poisonous sting directly at that flesh, where it hits and injects Krotax with the poison. Krotax is roaring in pain and agony, turns up towards Diprox. Krotax doesn't know how he can reach Diprox, so what he does is he charges towards an arena wall, smashes it, bringing down the rubble. Krotax gets out of the way from it. Krotax picks up some rubble with his trunk and starts chucking it towards Diprox. Diprox is dodging it like it's nothing. Krotax gets annoyed and wraps 2 pieces of rubble around his trunk this time, without Diprox knowing, chucks them both towards Diprox. And Diprox dodges one but couldn't dodge the other in time, gets hit by it in the on the side, hitting her wing as well. She plummets down to the ground and Krotax charges towards Diprox. Diprox gets back up to be greeted by a roar of a raging mammoth. Diprox uses her legs or arms to push Krotax back, holding the tusk, which is penetrating her flesh, but is holding Diprox back with all her strength. Diprox also shooting rapid fire stingers towards Krotax, but it's not penetrating her at all. Krotax uses her tongue to wrap around Diprox's neck to constrict her airflow, but Diprox hasn't given up. So Diprox is now struggling to breathe, whilst Krotax is struggling to push Diprox forward. But the more air that Diprox is losing, the easier it is for Krotax to push Diprox backwards. And after what seems like an eternity, Krotax tightens his grip around Diprox's neck, and Diprox's airflow just starts getting loose, and Diprox lets go of Krotax's tusk. And what Krotax does is that he lifts Diprox up by his trunk, by her neck with his trunk, and keeping his trunk steady, starts swinging his head, moving his tusks towards Diprox, slashing repeatedly at her entirely, her wings, her abdomen, her legs. And where when Diprox came unmoving, Krotax chucks Diprox down to the ground, and Diprox is still twitching. She gets back up, just very exasperated, very exhausted, and very badly wounded. She gets back up and is immediately greeted by a stomp from Krotax, landing on her abdomen, crushing it entirely. Diprox screeches in pain, and her screech is silenced by the swing of Krotax's head, using his tusk to slice through Diprox's neck. And with that, Krotax has won the fight, Diprox has lost. With this fight, I kind of knew Krotax was going to win it, because even though Diprox may be fast and agile, none of her attacks can actually penetrate Krotax. And whilst Krotax was infected with the poison that Diprox put at the beginning of the match, the poison would only take 10, maybe 20 minutes to actually do its work. And as it didn't, for Beast anyway, as it didn't work in time and Krotax didn't collapse, Diprox paid the ultimate price for it. So if you think Diprox should have won, please leave in the comments below why you think that, but unfortunately my word is final and Krotax has won. So with that being said, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe. Join me in the next Battle of the Beast episode, where we have probably one of the most interesting matches of the round so far. Until then, peace out.